Hey friends, hey, come on in. Hi, how's your Monday? How is your Monday? Come on in. I'm on just a couple of minutes early to get everything going, but I am so excited today to be part of the New Beginnings page hop put on by my sweet friend Michelle at the Vintage Daisy. And I am gonna hop right over here for 1 second and move myself around just a bit. Hi, Stacy, how are you? Come on in, guys. Grab a seat at the table and let's talk about a new beginning. Hi, Kendra, it's so good to see you. It is so good to see you guys. Hey, Diane. Hello, 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 everybody. How is your Monday? It has been raining here, Missy. Let me tell you, hey, my friend Cheryl, how are you? I mean, pouring rain, like pounding. It has turned to snow. Thank goodness. Hey, Sherry, the snow is a little bit slower. Hey, Miss Allie, how are you? Hey, Debbie. I missed you guys too. What a holiday season. But here we go. We are back to school today. Here is our first day back, and it's snowing. And it doesn't take a lot of snow in Missouri to get you right back out of school. So my sweet little girl, Mirette, she headed out today. I said, well, enjoy your day. It may be the only one you get. So we're waiting to see. The temperature's falling. The snow is coming. It's still wet on the roads, but ooh, here we go. Oh, Allie, I hope you can too. I've been having so many little glitchy things happen while I've been trying to watch today, and I don't have any advice for you. I was able to watch one on my phone that I never could get to come up on my laptop. I never know. I never know. Hi, Jean. Hey, everybody. Come in, come in, come in. I have been rearranging my house, you guys. You know how all of a sudden you look at things and you're like, wait a minute. Why do I have things put like this? This other way makes more sense. So I made a huge mess to make it look better and hopefully work a little bit better. Yeah, I think the snow is coming from my way in Kansas City over toward you in St. Louis. I do. Hey, hey, hey. So, new beginnings. How funny is it if you've been watching all day today, how many books have been made today? Hey, Miss Grace. Miss Grace kicked us off this morning with a journal. Hi, Diane. It's so good to see you guys. So good to see you. And all the time that I've been planning this, to be in this event, I had a sign on my mind because I have a word for 2024. And I don't always do a word of the year. Hey, Molly, but this year I did, and this is it. Resilience. This word, I may have to go get it tattooed right here so I see it every day for the rest of my life. Hey, Carol, happy Monday to you. Resilience is something I desperately need in my life and in my mind. Because if there's one thing I know, and hey, welcome. I love Grace. Welcome over from her page. One thing I do know is that there are going to be hard times. There's going to be difficulties. There's going to be setbacks. There's going to be struggles. There's going to be bouts of anxiety. There's going to be bouts of depression. I know me. I've been living in this body for 59 years. And I know me well enough to know that I'm going to hit the wall repeatedly. And I have got to bounce better. Y'all, I've got to learn to be resilient, that those things don't destroy me or they don't knock me down too long before I can hop back up. Man, little late in the game to get it, but I'm getting it. And so this is my my word for the year 2024. And so my project was always going to be about my word. Hey, Christina. But my project changed. Hey, sweet Lori, how are you? So I started out, let me show you, because you guys can pick really what you want to see today. I went to my Habitat for Humanity Restore last week, and they were having a sale, and all of their cabinet doors were 50 cents. Did you hear me? 50 cents. You got to find a Habitat for Humanity Restore. And they just had racks and racks and racks. Hey, Miss Judy. of cabinet doors that were 50 cents. Now, listen, if I was going to make a sign, I would run straight down the road, which is way too stinking close to my house, about a mile to a Hobby Lobby. And I would buy myself a wood surface for $5 to $10, right? I went 50 cents, okay? And the only thing with it, I'll find it here in the camera, is it's got holes where the handle was, but I don't make a sign without putting something on it, right? Do you? So we can sew cover the holes. So I started with the plan to make our resilience sign, okay? That I could display big, big in my house and see it all the time, okay? And so I have a plan for how we would put this on here and decorate the sign. So think about that. If you want to see a sign, we can do a sign. You know, mine changes all the time. My Restore is very reliable for its prices almost constantly. And really, it's almost always, hey, Jennifer, the cheapest place you can find around here to buy anything that they have in there. So cabinet doors, I bought 8 of them. Of course I did, right? But, you know, 50 cents. I spent $4. And I've got 8 signs to choose from. So we have this cabinet door. So, sign. And then when I was moving things around today, rearranging my furniture, of course you got to empty it to move it because Mama P's old and I can't move full furniture. And my furniture gets a little over full, if you know what I mean. And I found this. And this is a project I started sometime early last year and didn't finish. Y'all got those too, I bet. And it's a set of wooden book covers that I bought. It was an antique store that had them. And so this is the cover, right? And it's hinged. My camera's flipped for you all, and now I don't know which hand to use. It's hinged right here. It already has holes in here. And then it flips open. Hey, Wanda, it's good to see you. And then my plan is we were going to make a book with my word on it. And I pulled out some plain paper and some watercolor paper because I also want to do some more watercolor type art journaling this year is another goal. So many goals. And you remember it, Missy? It was going to be like a family tree book, and I just didn't. So then we have the book cover option to put the word on. And I pulled out some napkin that we could decoupage on there. I really like this one. Okay, so we have to decide if we're going to do a book or a sign. Anybody got a strong feeling? Process is going to be pretty much the same, either one. Hey, Angela. But those were our options when we started. And I may have to do them both because this resilience thing, I got to work this word. I have got to work this word. Hey, Sue. So we may wind up doing both. So let's look at the book cover first. And there we go. Hey, if you guys see that, I did get the chat bot up and working on my page here. So you can ! commands and it will tell you what your choices are for them. And I've linked in my Etsy page. There's not a ton on my Etsy page because I had totally had to start over, but workshops are in there. I'm also going to launch another workshop for y'all that's going to start in February, and it's going to be a journaling or / bookmaking 101 class. So if you just want to create alongside some folks in a small group where you can talk and get some help, we're going to do 4 or 5 sessions, how many ever it takes, and we're going to start to finish a journal book. And we're going to start with a book cover. So I'm going to also offer a kit, and it'll have a hymnal in there that we're going to redo, and all of your basic supplies, a binding kit, adhesive, you know, all those things that if you really just haven't done it, you don't have all that stuff. That is not in the Etsy shop yet, but it will be. It's one of my goals this week. Making some goals. Okay, so you can find all the things there. I'm also in the process of moving my videos over to YouTube as a backup, and also so they're a little easier to search. I added 10 more today. Woo-hoo. My goal is to get, it's a job, y'all, but that's one of my goals. So if you can link the YouTube in there, you can link Tree. Anyway, I did it. Aren't you proud? I did. Hey, Luann. So what we're going to do here is we're going to decoupage this napkin down. Now, what I had done, if I can remember, it's been several months, is we painted and we kind of crackled, and then this is a tissue paper or at least a plain layer of a napkin, and then we dirtied that up a little bit. That's where it is. So I've got my matte medium here because it's what I grabbed. It works interchangeably with Mod Podge Capri. Way to go with your vanilla. I'm excited about that. So I'm just using matte medium. You can use anything. Oh, Missy, you were here from the beginning then, because my page has only been around since the beginning of November a year ago. And we passed 5,000 followers. There's a 5,000 follower party coming up later this month. There's so much going on, you guys. So I'm just going to put my matte medium down while we chat, or else we'll just sit and talk and I won't get anything done. Rosemary, garlic, onion bread. Martha! One of my videos that went up on YouTube today is a short version of how to make my no-knead artisan bread. I did teach that in great detail in our baking private class workshop, but there is a short video. I noticed it was one of the ones, y'all, it was so funny. Some of the ones that we had downloaded and moved were my very earliest lives. So I would almost guarantee y'all haven't seen them. And wow, how things change. And I'm doing them all. I'm gonna move them all over. I'm not gonna pick and choose. Okay, so I have just a layer of my matte medium down, and I pre-trimmed up this napkin today already. And all I did, the way you prepare any napkin for Mod Podging, and it is a great choice for Mod Podging because it's thin. And you got to take the layers apart. You only want the printed layer that's on the outside. And so you strip your layers apart. A little bit of glue on your finger works wonders for that. And then I used a water pen. It just looks like this. You fill it with water. Hey, Lindy, thank you so much for joining us today. I enjoyed your book. I really, really did. And then a water pen just has a little brush tip if you've never had it. And it makes your lines tear on your napkin, and it makes them a little fuzzy. So a water pen is a good thing. You can use a little bit of a, you are not late, never, never late, and never, never, never have to be sorry. Any minute you're here with me, I am just thankful. I'm just thankful every time. So I used my water pen to trim it. So here's the other piece of my napkin. I just love this napkin. If you love this napkin and you'd like to have one, send me a message. I got lots. So this is how it comes. If you want to separate your layers, hey Dorinda, any kind of glue will work. So I just had a glue stick. Put a little bit of glue between your two fingers and just pinch in a corner. And if you don't glue them together, hi Debbie, you can just pull those layers apart. Now some napkins are 2 layers and some are 3. Hey Pat, welcome from Georgia. I bet it's not snowing in Georgia today, but it is snowing in Kansas City. So make sure that you check because you only want this top layer, okay? Hey Sherry, I'm gonna try to remember that. Send me a message so I don't forget, okay? Because I don't have anything here to write it down with, okay? So you just get the thinnest layer, and then you can see that just by using a paintbrush dipped in water, thank you Nelda, or using the water pen, you get kind of a shreddy edge. And when you have a shredded edge, and I'm not done here, but you can see how it just almost disappears completely into the background. And that's what we want. We want it to disappear into the background. No snow, thankfully. Oh my gosh, Luann, making my slaw and my bean salad. Is there a chance? Sorry, I am not getting the end of that, but I'm gonna go back. I always post my recipes, but sometimes finding that post is the hard part. So remind me, and if I don't see it, I always will share those recipes. If I make a recipe online, I handwrite it into a special cookbook. And they are all in there. And if you don't find the post easy, I can easily send that to you. So if I miss a comment, I do try to go back, but I'll be honest, sometimes it's hard to catch them all. So never hesitate to send me a message. Okay, so I'm just putting another layer here on top with my matte medium. And it's gonna seal it in there. Absolutely. I always want you to try my recipes. I try really hard. If you're watching and you know the particular date that it was in Crafters in the Kitchen, I always went back. Hey, Vinny Nickel. Nickel Nax is my son-in-law. And if you, he is going to try some creating, and he's quite a crafty fella. So, I don't know. How fun is that, right? Okay. So we've got a good layer. Oops, my chubby wrist sets off my watch sometimes. Okay, and now that we've done that with our napkin and we've got it covered, you can see that it just blends right in to what's underneath. You don't really even see that it's a layer. And I just love that effect. I just really, I appreciate that effect because unlike Miss Amanda, who was up in front of me, I'm not a good painter, and there's no way I could get that on there if I were painting it on there. Okay, so I'm gonna put the lid snap down on there. I'm gonna put the glue lid back on here, and I'm gonna hit this with my dryer. I am all about easy cooking. I am all about easy cooking. I have a large family. I always tell people I cook a lot like your grandma, because like your grandma, I didn't have a lot of time and I didn't have a lot of money. And so what I put on the table has to be nutritious and filling and not too expensive. And it's doable. It's doable. I could paint it, Miss Amanda, but it wouldn't look like this. So I'll cheat. I'll take the napkin's help. I may spin my camera around and let you guys see the snow falling. It is absolutely beautiful here today. The snow is gorgeous. It's falling in big, beautiful flakes, and it's heavy. Because it switched, it was pouring rain, big old drops of rain, and then turned to snow. And it's beautiful, you guys. Okay, it won't take very long. This dries pretty quick. I'm gonna dry it and not cook my fingers. That's the goal. That's the goal. Okay. Whew, there you go. You love snow? Yeah, let me see. It's actually prettier out my front door, but I don't know that you can see it that way. Hey, other Cheryl, how are you? Okay, it's not completely dry, but it's dry enough to go forward. So this is just a technique I really enjoy. And if you, it's super windy in Springfield. It was very windy here before, but I don't know if you guys if you're gonna get the weather that we've got now or not. Okay, so that's down. I do kind of want to make sure it's drier up here where I need to work on it. Okay, and then we're going to use carbon paper to transfer our word over, because that's what I got handy, and it's a technique that you can use too. This is carbon paper that I ordered online. If you don't have carbon paper, I did look yesterday, and like Office Depot and Office Max carries it. Michael's, I believe, carries it for using with your crafts. It can be called graphite paper. You know, it can have several names. And if my paint and my Mod Podge is not dry enough, it's going to stick to it and make a hot mess. And then we'll be resilient, right, in how we deal with it. But I want to tell you, you see this? This doesn't want to go back in the package. again, we've got to have some resilience because this could really frustrate me and I could just want to quit. I'm telling you, I'm a big baby when it comes to that kind of stuff, and I quit too easy and I recover too slow. So I'm gonna set it right over there. Okay, so I'm feeling this and I don't feel any sticky. I could probably freehand it. I could, but I'm not gonna. Okay, and I don't want to risk ruining anything more than I need, so I'm gonna cut this into a little piece. It's cold but sunny, and you guys are under a flood watch. We had a lot of rain. Had it turned to, so if you guys, I'm sure you're familiar with carbon paper or graphite paper. It has a very dark black side and then it has a gray side, and this will transfer however or whatever we do to it. So I'm gonna lay it kind of where I want my word, and then I'm just gonna lay my word over it like this, okay? And then I just wanna trace it so that I can see where I want the word, okay? So anything sharp or pointy will work. I'm using the end of a paintbrush, okay? And I don't do this very often, and it may or may not be, the Vintage Daisy is in New Hampshire, and they had a lot of snow the other day. We have not had hardly any snow in Missouri yet this year, but this one has some potential. I think some of the weathermen said up to 8 inches. I'm not a fan. I'm just saying. I'm not a fan. My poor kids got back to school today, and she would like to go back to school tomorrow. So there you go. Okay, so I'm just holding this down, and I'm just taking the tip of a paintbrush. Anything sharp should work that puts some pressure. So I'm gonna pick it up and see, and you can see that, I hope you can see. Oh, Allie, you are so sweet. I hope you can see that. If I had something sharper and pointier, it would give me a finer line, but I am gonna go over this with some paint. So really, I just need a basic outline to follow, okay? Ooh, it's squeaky and loud. Bite my tongue. Bite my tongue about the snow or the school's closing. What do you want me to bite my tongue about, Missy? Because I feel like maybe I should bite my tongue about all of it. I have one daughter. So, okay, can you see it there? Can you see the E? I think you can. I have one daughter here at home that is in the 6th grade. I have a daughter who is a junior in high school, but she's away at school this year. And so she lives on campus in her school. And I have a son who just started his very last semester of his undergrad college experience today. But he's not here at the house. So that is our current kid situation. Our current kid situation. Okay, this is a fairly thick font that I chose, and I just printed this out on my inkjet printer in a text that I like, and I'm gonna just keep adjusting it. You could tape it down, and I probably should have, but it's okay because I want it to have kind of a homemade look, but I also kind of want it to look right when I'm done. He still wants to walk. Yeah. Can you hear my snoring dog over there? You hear it? That's Miss Millie. She is our King Charles Cavalier, and she is the sweetest spaniel dog you've ever known, but that dog snores. Can you hear that? Yeah, that's her snore, but honestly, she would snore no matter what the weather was like, okay? And I'm trying to remember where I've been, and I'm just trying to follow the outline inside and outside. So I'm doing kind of the top layer here. Okay. And like I said, I'm trying not to be too particular because we're gonna paint this in or Sharpie marker it in or something. Okay. So I'm going around the outside. I'm hitting the inside of these, and then I'll just go around the bottom. That's my idea. We're hoping it works. Or I hope it works well enough. Let's say that. Hit that little eye. I think we were over to about here. And then around the E. Have any of you ever used carbon paper to transfer before? But let's peek. You see it? I think you can see that. I'll pick it up when we're done, but I don't want to pick it up before we're done because you know what would happen. Okay. Inside of my E, around the top here of my R. So if you have any kind of a printer and you can do any kind of a Word document, this way you don't even have to reverse it. There are a lot of ways that if you reverse print that you can transfer, even with just an inkjet print, onto your project. And you can do that using Mod Podge or probably the matte medium and transfer some of the ink if you print it in a mirror fashion in reverse. But this is just printed straight on. Okay, here we go. Coming around the bottom now. Yes. You could use your pointed stylus. That's the word I was looking for. This is, like I said, this is just the end. You use carbon paper. Yeah, you bet. I can remember using it in typing as well. Mm-hmm. Okay, I think I did the inside of my S, and then I'm coming around the bottom, and this one should be quicker. L, I again, E, N, and you guys know I'm not about perfect crafts anyway. Hey, Kathy, how are you? How are you? Yay. Let's see what we got here. Cool. Okay, we did it. We picked it. And oh my goodness, I can remember being in my sister's wedding. She was several years older than me and got married when I was very young, and I was her flower girl. Okay, there you go. That's how it transferred over. And now what we have is carbon down here, or graphite. So it's like having a pencil line, okay, in there. You like that? I kind of like it. Now we can go over this in any way we want to make it permanent. So I have some options here. Look, let's talk about the need for resilience here. Let's just talk about it. I was getting ready today to do this event with my word, my resilience. And you know that when you start something like that, it's going to exactly be required of you. So what I wanted to use to put my word on here was an acrylic paint pen. And then I checked my fingers because I might have carbon on them. And I have acrylic paint pens. I really do. I have a fairly new set of acrylic paint pens even. Could I find them? I could not. I could not. Now I told you it's been raining, so I went out to the craft hut twice in the hard pouring rain. I got underneath my stairs, which are those brown doors right there, and I have a shelf of craft supplies there. And I told you I'd been rearranging my furniture, right? So I had just moved around my craft supplies. I can't find them. Heck no, I can't find them. Hey, Holly, how are you? So, I have every other alternative here in front of me. I have a very thin tipped Sharpie pen that we can use to trace it. Then I have a medium regular tip Sharpie pen, but you'll notice it's gray and it's not black. We could use that. I grabbed a Marks A Lot permanent marker in a thicker tip, and we could use that. And then I grabbed my black craft paint and a wide assortment of brushes because we could paint the letters in, okay? I feel like I should paint them. That's the crafty way. I also think that these would be an easier alternative. But we're gonna paint them this time with the best I can do. I have this Facebook page that I dearly love, and I have you friends that I dearly love. And I have craft supplies that I dearly love. What I don't have is a standard space that I get to keep. I just don't have one, okay? And because I love you all and you know me, I'm just gonna tell you that my sugar is kind of doing the dropsy doodles currently. That happens to me. I ate, like I should have, a protein-based lunch. So I have some Apple Crisp flavored gummy bears here. They're quite interesting. And I'm gonna have to eat them because I am sweating. And there they go. So I'm gonna tuck that in my cheek and let it dissolve. So this is what we're gonna try. I got some scrap paper. I couldn't pick which font I liked better. So I'm gonna flip that paper over. So sorry that I have to eat a gummy bear while I'm live. But, look, what a globby mess. So I'm gonna peel the globby mess off of it. And I'm just gonna put some paint right here on this scrap. And I'm gonna grab another gummy bear. So, sorry, but conscious beats unconscious all the time. And I am sweating. All right, so I picked out several of my, oh my gosh, look at the paint on me. Fairly fine tip brushes so I can kind of get in there. I really like this one because it is flat across, but it's tiny. So let's try this one. And I'm gonna get a little bit of water and clean my fingers off just a little bit on one of my napkins perhaps. Hi Cheryl, how are you today? I used to keep those kind of sugar drops all the time. I used to be pretty severely diabetic, and I would have these sugar ups and sugar downs. I am not severely diabetic anymore, but I do tend to get the drops. I don't get the high sugars anymore, but I do get the sugar drops. And they're miserable, you guys, you know that. They're not really dangerous, but they are icky. But here is my sweet little Apple Crisp flavored gummy bear. Okay, I'm gonna use this little flat brush. I'm not gonna use very much paint. I just told you I'm no painter, okay? So I'm gonna spread that out. We can put multiple layers on. That's right. Oh, don't be nervous. It's a common occurrence. It's a common occurrence these days. So I'm pulling my paint out quite a bit of ways just to give me a sharp edge on that because my E kind of ends on a sharpened edge. And I'm just gonna follow the lines that I just put on there with our paper. How cool, right? That's all right. Gummy bears to the rescue. Okay, so. And I'm just gonna go in and I'm gonna draw in. I hope you find that this is a method that could work for you. I tried to price out the carbon paper for you. Oh my gosh. I'll just tell you that my diabetes was gosh awful, and it was very, very volatile. And I would wake up with these terrible low blood sugars in the middle of the night. And I wouldn't even, you know, you're waking up and your sugar's so low that it takes you a while to figure out that you need something. And I had weight loss surgery several years ago, and certain weight loss surgeries cure diabetes immediately. And so I no longer had diabetes, and it was fantastic. I didn't have lows or highs for years. Then I really began to struggle with drops. So low blood sugars are better than high blood sugars, right? But they're still annoying as all get out. Annoying as all get out. Okay. So here we go. I really want to learn to hand letter well. But so far, I'm not confident with it. Anybody in here do hand lettering? I am so impressed with beautiful hand lettering. I don't get too physically shaky. I sweat a ton and I feel kind of fuzzy in the brain. Okay. IEN, this is a C. If I tell myself what it is. Oh, low blood pressures are a terrible feeling. Terrible. And as everybody has said today, if you're working with your word, this is going to be my book, and it doesn't have to be as, what's the word? Technically good. There you go. Oh my gosh, does she? I bet she. I love lettering. And as much as I love words, I really should practice it more and get better at it. I've taken a few classes and I know the techniques for lettering. I just don't take the time to practice. Isn't that the truth of it right there? And all it would take would be a little practice, and I'm sure I would love it. I know I would love it because, like I said, I do a word with everything. Everything. No craft is complete without a word. But this is kind of a way, if you, like me, have not conquered personal lettering style, that you can transfer any font that you like. So, I mean, you open up your computer. Mine has 100 fonts, right? Find the one that you like. Have weight loss surgery too? I did not have anemia. Oh, Martha. I didn't have low blood pressure, but I do have anemia chronically. And so I've had to have iron infusions. They help. Thank you. So I'm just pressing my paint out. I keep pushing my little flat bristles, trying to get them as flat as I can. Okay, now this was a really thin line here. So we'll just touch that. And we'll just touch this one where it kind of joins. I know when we hand letter that we thicken the downstrokes of your letters. They're wider. So if I can remember that, that will help. Oh my gosh. I wish, like I said, it's on my craft bucket list, but my craft bucket list, you guys, is so long. And I set goals like I was going to make handmade paper. I want to make homemade paper really bad. It was on my summer bucket list so I could dry it outside, and it didn't happen. There's always next summer. I guess there's always next summer. And lettering is one of those things that stays on my crafting bucket list. Maybe if I put maybe I need to attend workshops, and then I could do my travel bucket list and my crafting bucket list all at the same time. What do you think? What do you think? So I've been reading, and I see lots of you guys on other Crafters Lives, and I love that because I get to read your comments so much better. You get the fatigue. I know I'm anemic, when I have an insatiable urge to eat ice. Did you know that? I would have my husband go into Sonic every day to bring me big cups of ice, and I would just eat ice and eat ice and eat ice. That is a sign of anemia. And that's how I knew I really had anemia, was when I figured that out. And then as soon as my iron gets corrected, I don't care about ice anymore. And you know, even when I was a kid, I would munch ice all the time. I think I was anemic even as a kid. Some people eat chalk. I had a friend that used to pick at drywall and eat it when she would get anemic. Isn't that scary? Well, Christina, that can be a true sign of anemia. It was a light bulb moment for me, I tell you. Okay. Now, I love to chat with you guys, and it's really hard to make myself sit here and do this painting because I have to look at it. But we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Well, yep. It is crazy. I obsess over ice. I do. And the last time I had infusions, so it was about 1.5 years ago, so they held pretty good. So, resilience. I've been debating sharing a story with you guys. You know, there's some things you never know who to share or how or what. Some things you keep to yourself. That's what I need to say. But I had an experience the other day that I had never had in my life. And it made me really think about the resilience. I gotta look at that one. That's a weird S. I may have to look at the paper to get that one right. But it was an experience that up until maybe even, I don't know, maybe even this year, resilience is the word, would have really, really destroyed me. Like I would have cried for days over, and then really not known. Okay, my little S here, I gotta look at that. Ooh, a couple of times a year, that's a lot. Anyway, I took my daughter to the dentist, here to our local dentist, and we moved not too long ago, right? So you guys know that. So we had to find all new providers, and I had a very unfriendly encounter with the dentist. She said something that just really, really hurt me, like deeply hurt me. And I came home and I thought, man, I don't know how to deal with this very well. But up until not too many years ago, I would have just, hey, Regina, really, really been hurt and affected and cried and, you know, never wanted to leave the house again or whatever. But in resilience, you're like, well, that was terrible. And she shouldn't have said that. But I can't carry that around. You know what I mean? I guess that's what resilience means to me, that when something bad happens or something really hurtful happens or, you know, setbacks of any kind come along, we don't ignore them as if they don't exist, but we don't let them live in our head too long, I guess. Yeah, that's not too bad. If you don't get too close, it really looks good. If you get a little closer, you can see odds and ends. But I'm thinking later I can go, one of my tricks for when I paint those little wood shapes, if you go around the outside and do it with a Sharpie, it kind of erases a lot of your mistakes looking things. So I will probably do that with this to edge out. Let's see, I gotta dot those I's. There's one. And there's one. Okay, and now I'm gonna get a little bitty, this is a little tiny, tiny detail brush. Terry, that's exactly it. Don't let somebody else's actions define you. That's right. They can say something hurtful. You can have a setback. You can have a major letdown, but it does not have to define you. That's resilience, you know, where you can say, well, that really sucks, or that was really terrible, but I don't have to live in it. That's just it. I don't have to live in the truth of what the dentist said. You know what I mean? Or the lie of what the dentist said. Hey, Dana. Oh, it's good to see you. Good to see you. So later on this week, I'm not real sure of my schedule yet for the rest of the week, but I do plan to get on. It does hurt, Michelle, and you still acknowledge the hurt. Absolutely acknowledge the situation and the hurt, but it's the get back up again, right? I will be on this week to finish up my cover for the traveling journal project that we're doing. I've got the jewelry all pulled out, and I've got to get it attached, and I need to get the pages in that. Oh, Tammy, I'm so sorry. Try going out and coming back in. I had one video that I could not watch on my laptop at all, but it was working on my phone. I thought that was really weird. I am just trying to go through with this little tiny, and I'm just cleaning up any little raggedy spots. And there are some. Of course there are some, right? Of course there are some. And I think, like I said, I can come back in even with that detail Sharpie and really sharpen them up if something needs it. But it's not bad, you guys. It worked pretty good. It worked, woohoo. I know what is going on with all of that. I've been blaming my internet here. Actually, I blamed all the kids that were out of school using the internet in town, but there have been lots of struggles lately. That's okay. That's all right. Most of the time, in worst case scenario, if you have one that just won't work for you, the replays don't usually do that. They'll run just fine. All right, one more little touch up here across the top of this in. I forgot where I was going. Oh, good, Dolores. And then we're gonna let this dry and get a look at it, and then let's pull out some papers, and I'll show you how we're gonna put it back together. So there's our word. I'm really happy with that. I think that looks pretty good. I was trying to look, I'm looking at it to see if there was any spots I needed to fix, but that looks okay. Okay, I'm gonna put that brush in the bathtub and that one in the bathtub. And then I wanna seal it with at least one more coat of the matte medium, but I'll probably also hit it with a spray coat of like, what do they call that stuff? You know what I mean? Like the varnish that you brush on, but that's not what it is. Just because I want to use it. Okay, so this is gummy bears in my mouth. Okay, these are the papers I pulled while I was cleaning the shelf today. So this will hold an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, which is kind of cool. So I grabbed this linen resume paper. You guys know that I am nuts for office paper. So it's one of the best kept secrets of things that you need to be looking for when you're at a yard sale, a thrift store. Estate sales almost always have, yes, Capri, thank you, polyacrylic, ding, 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 ding. And I love this. I buy it every time, you guys. And this one is a linen finish in kind of a gray. And I don't think there's any way I can get the camera to pick it up, but it feels good. It's got a little, Hey, Marlene, how are you, sweetie? So I'm just gonna grab, I didn't count it. I'm gonna grab a stack. And then I had this pad of watercolor paper. I really, really, really want to art journal. And to be honest, really, yeah, it's any of those office papers are just awesome. I really want to get better at expressing myself, or letting go of things with more art stuff. So I want to add some watercolor paper. Sure I do. Oh, Maureen, how are you, hon? Because I think, well, I know for me that when something is really disturbing my spirit, and sometimes art is the best way to shake it up, is just let some of that stuff out. So I think I'm gonna start. One of the cool things about the way I'm gonna put this together, that's okay, is we can change it. We can take things out, we can move them around, okay? And the watercolor paper is taller than the office paper. So I'm gonna trim it just with my scissors because I'm here. Just because I'm here. Okay. Fancy, fancy, fancy. Is that true? Oh my goodness. Okay, so here's my top. Where did I do with the other piece? There it is. Here's the base. So we use it first. And we'll just lay these in here, and you can see, and we can I'm gonna let the cover dry as long as we can for this part. So you can see, I think, that the 2 holes were already drilled there, and I just wanna see, that's really a nice fit, I think. Just that much around there. Thank you, Sherry. And so I'm just gonna use my pencil that's sitting here. Get enough out of there, and I'm just going to mark right through these 2 holes. Okay, just like that. And then I got my great big, threw the cover in the floor. Yes, I did. I got my big hole puncher here, and we're going to see if we can't get through all of it at once. That way I don't have to line it up twice. There's one. And the other one. Oh, come on. There we go. There we go. Okay. I'm going to grab the cover and I threw it in the floor. Okay. So now, I don't think it matters which side is the back of that one. You got a crocodile for Christmas. Yes, good Christmas. And then this is gonna go right on the top. And I am just gonna use the one that I actually threaded on a needle, just a strip of fabric. Hi Sherry, how are you, hon? So this is just a piece of Pioneer Woman cotton fabric from Walmart that I tea stained a long, long time ago, coffee stained for a project. And I just ripped about a 1/2 inch strip of it, okay? And then we're just gonna feed it through with my needle here. All of our papers, both of our covers. And that way, now the other option with this kind of a cover, I don't know if you guys ever come across them. I love them and I buy them when I find them. I need to make them. I just need to conquer that, right? You too got a crocodile for Christmas. Okay, I should have put the bigger hole in the paper. Pardon me while I yank this through here. The needle's coming through, but not the fabric. There we go. Is that we can untie this and add more paper whenever we want to. The other option, and you know, if I had some, I probably would have used it, is you can buy the post and screws like for a scrapbook. And you could put it together with that. Any kind of fastener that will go through these holes, you could certainly use. Okay, and then back up through the top. But I like the way this looks. That's just kind of my style, right? And then we're just gonna tie it as tight as we can just to hold that one together. Oh my gosh, it was a Crocodile Christmas. Look at you guys. Shoelaces would work fine, Sherry. Sure would. And we're just gonna put it in a nice tight double knot. And then I'm just gonna tie a tiny bow. That's what we're gonna do. And a little piece of lace would have worked here, whatever you had, right? I mean, we're doing. There we go. And then I'm just gonna trim that little tail off. And then our little book is held together just like that. And you could do this with anything. Yeah, you could. I want to make sure whatever I use that's metal is flat on the back. I didn't want a big bolt thing sticking out. So that's why I think they have the post and the screws that go with the in the scrapbook department. And so that would work. But I like this. And like I said, we can change it if I really do something in there that I don't like. You know, that's apt to happen. I can take that one page out and slide another piece in. So my word for the new year is resilience. Resilience. I know. There's going to be setbacks. There's going to be struggles. There's going to be disappointments. I can't do anything to stop that from happening, but resilience helps me bounce back and not let them knock me off track and not let one negative thing make anything else negative. I tell you what, flat screws. Yes, yours is Grace. I love that, Terry. I love that. So I've got my little tiny fine tip Sharpie, and that is what I can do just to totally refine my letters, okay? But I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let this really, really set and harden up. The other thing I pulled out that I thought about putting on it was this cross. I got these at Hobby Lobby. They were a set of 6 crosses. They're Christmas ornaments, but they're really lovely. Let me see them. 3 different styles. And they were $12 for 6, but of course, you know, they were marked way down. And I do love a cross. I even pulled out this really sweet little flower pin that I thought would be really cute mounted in the center of that. But I don't know, cross or no cross. What do you guys think? I like it, but of course I like it, right? It's me, of course I like it. I even heated up my not lava tool to put it on there. Let's put it on there. If we don't like it, it's probably popping off anyway. We'll just, I won't go too crazy. I'll put 3 dots. That way if I want to take it off, I can. I want to cover the butterfly. I love butterflies. Cross of other flowers. Well, I wasn't sure where to put it with the word. I don't want it to interfere, but I like it. I like it right there. They're real. I think, Regina, we'll get a lot of use out of them. I got 2 packages. I like a cross, of course, on about anything. And so I think it would be an addition. So yeah, this is going to work really well with this little Sharpie marker because it's the really sharp tip, and where my brush or my paintbrush, you know, didn't leave a perfectly straight line, I can kind of just go through and clean all that up by putting a little outline on it. So I hope you guys have enjoyed today of our New Beginnings event. Thank you to Miss Michelle. If you happened to catch me and you haven't caught everybody that was before me, I linked the Comfy Nest with Grace in my description. She was the first one this morning to kick off the event. And if you'll watch her, she linked the next one. So we had the Comfy Nest with Grace, and we had Tater Buggin', Miss Lindy Tate, and we had, Michelle followed her at the Vintage Daisy, and we had Amanda Dorier, Simply Flamazing Art. We had Miss Marlene at Marley Grace Crafts. I'm sorry if I didn't get that right. You'll find her link in there, and me. So there is some great crafting still to watch. And I'm just gonna keep cleaning up my little word here. I thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I thank you so much for spending the day with my crafty friends. And I'll be back either tomorrow or Wednesday for sure to work on the journal cover. I'm so excited about that, you guys. And I'm excited to find out who I'm going to mail it to and put together a little package for them as well. So you guys have a great day. The snow slowed down. We'll see what happens with that. And I'll talk to you really, really soon. Thanks, guys, so much. See you soon. Bye-bye.